Ladies, let's be real for a second. If you've ever been head over heels in love, you've definitely found yourself wondering what exactly is going on in his head. How does he see me right? Don't worry, you're not alone, and you're certainly not crazy. Men may not always show their thoughts as clearly as we'd like, but believe me, when a guy realizes he's found the woman he can't see his future without, there are some telltale signs lurking under the surface. Here's a fun truth: guys may try to play it cool, but there are certain thoughts, little aha moments, that hit when they meet the one. And those thoughts often lead them to act in very interesting and telling ways. Want to know what they are? Great, because today I'm spilling the tea on not one, not two, but 7 thoughts every man has when he just knows. Trust me, once you know these, you'll never look at his subtle behaviors the same way again. Buckle up, this is going to be fun. Point 1. All right, ladies, let's get to the first thought on our list. It's a big one. When a guy meets the one, yes, you, his dream girl, something incredible happens in his mind. It's like a motivational alarm clock goes off and he tells himself, I really need to work on myself. Now hold on, this doesn't mean he thinks he's not good enough. Nope. What it means is that you inspire him to level up in every way possible, physically, mentally, emotionally, you name it. First off, you might notice him suddenly taking a lot more interest in his health. Maybe he starts hitting the gym like he's training for the next Marvel superhero movie. Or he starts saying no to those late-night junk food binges and yes to green smoothies. What? All because he wants to look and feel his best, not just for himself, but to make sure he's the kind of guy who can keep up with someone as amazing as you. It doesn't stop there. Meeting you might also make him look at how he treats others. Is he as kind and gentlemanly as he wants to be? Has he been a great son, a thoughtful friend, or a reliable colleague? If the answer is no, guess what? He's ready to start making some changes. You, my friend, have become the spark that makes him want to be the best version of himself for you and the people around him. And let's talk about his goals. That dream he had of moving up in his career or starting his passion project. Meeting you might just be the push he needs to put it into gear. Suddenly he's ironing out all his procrastinating tendencies because he can't help but think about building a more solid future, one that has room for you. It's like you're his not-so-secret muse, fueling his drive to achieve greatness. Oh, and those bad habits? Yep, he's reevaluating those too. Whether it's always being late, spending too much time gaming, or leaving his laundry in a pile on the floor for days, you've made him think, okay, time to get it together. Because frankly, he wants to be someone you're proud of, someone you can admire and brag about. The crazy part, all this comes from a good place. It's not that you're asking him to change or make over his life. It's that simply knowing you makes him want to grow for himself, for the relationship, for the future. And isn't that what makes love so powerful? Bottom line, when a man knows you're the one, you don't just enter his life, you transform it. And trust me, that kind of motivation is pure magic. Now, if you see him suddenly signing up for yoga or trying kale chips, don't freak out. It's just step 1 of him being ready to go all in because he knows you're worth it. Point 2, all right. Moving on to the second thought every man has when he realizes he's found the one. I'm so glad that last relationship didn't work out now. Ladies, don't feel bad about this one. It's not about him still dwelling on his past. Oh no, it's actually the opposite. When he looks at you, his right woman, his winning lottery ticket, he can't help but breathe a sigh of relief that those past relationships hit the skids. Why? Because if they hadn't, he might never have crossed paths with you. Crazy, right? Here's the thing about those exes: they served a purpose. When a man falls for the one, it's like he suddenly understands every lesson those crash and burn romances were trying to teach him. They taught him what didn't work, what he didn't want, and what he absolutely needed in a partner, like trust, respect, and someone who can make him laugh in the middle of chaos. And then you come along ticking off every single box on his mental checklist, and he sits there like, oh, this is what I've been searching for. How did I put up with anything less? Imagine it this way: those past relationships. They were like the appetizers at a fancy dinner. Sure, they were okay, maybe even decent, but where was the real substance? Where was the flavor? Then, boom, you arrive, and suddenly he's feasting on the Michelin star, worthy entree of his dreams. You're the gourmet dish to those bland salads. You get the picture. But it's not just about comparing you to others, it's about gratitude. He begins to see how every wrong turn helped lead him to the right one, to you. He's not bitter or resentful about the past anymore. Nope, he's thankful, because those experiences made him ready for you. He's done playing games, done settling, and done entertaining partners who didn't see his worth. You've helped him realize exactly what he deserves, and the best part, he knows it's you. And don't be surprised if he takes a moment to reflect on all this. You might catch him looking at you with a soft smile for no reason. Or he might randomly say, I'm so lucky to have you. That's his way of saying, wow, I dodged a bullet. Because you, my friend, are the prize that makes every misstep worth it. Bottom line? When a man meets the one, his entire perspective shifts. Those old heartbreaks, they stop being regrets and start being stepping stones. And trust me, when he realizes that, he's not just glad his past relationships didn't work out, he's thrilled. Why? Because every wrong choice led him to the right woman. You. And that's a thought he's going to treasure forever. Point 3, all right. Buckle up for this one because it's a roller coaster of emotions. The third thought every man has when he meets the one is something like this, man. I really hope I don't mess this up. Yep, it's as if a giant neon sign lights up in his brain, flashing don't, screw this up, and honestly, it's equal parts adorable and heartwarming. Here's the deal: when a guy knows he's found someone extraordinary, he suddenly feels the pressure to get it right. It's no longer just about impressing you, although trust me, he's trying. It's about making sure his every action, word, and look tells you just how much you mean to him. He doesn't want to accidentally say something dumb that makes you roll your eyes or forget an important date that might make you question his priorities. He's playing on the big stage now. This isn't some casual fling, this is the relationship. You'll notice it in the little things. Maybe he's suddenly super aware of how he looks before he shows up to see you. His shirt is ironed, his shoes are clean, and wait for it, he even spritzed on cologne. He wants to give you his absolute best, and that effort. Oh, it's all because he doesn't want to risk a bad impression. And then there's his behavior. If he's rushing to open doors, genuinely listening to you rant about your annoying coworker, or constantly checking in to see how you're feeling, guess what? That's him trying to make sure he's nailing this whole perfect boyfriend thing. But it's not just about appearances or actions, it's about intentions. Deep down, this thought, I hope I don't screw things up, comes from a genuine fear of losing something amazing. It's because you've shaken things up for him, made him care in a way he didn't think was possible. And that makes him vulnerable to making mistakes, to missteps, to overthinking every tiny move. He's constantly walking this tightrope, hoping his effort matches what you deserve. And ladies, you might notice how carefully he chooses his words. Gone are the days of reckless jokes or off-the-cuff comments. Suddenly, he's weighing every sentence as if he's writing a TED Talk script. He's making sure that not only does he say the right thing, but he's ready to back it up with action. Because to him, words mean nothing if they don't match the way he treats you. Now, here's the most endearing part: his nervousness. It's a good thing. It means he sees you as someone worth the effort, someone worth stepping out of his comfort zone for. He's nervous because he cares, and that kind of fear is pure gold. Bottom line? If your guy sometimes looks like he's walking on eggshells, don't be too hard on him. That's his way of saying you matter. I'm fully invested, and I don't want to lose this, and truthfully, that thought. That's one of the surest signs he knows you're the one. Even if he stumbles every now and then, cut him some slack, he's already winning just by trying so hard for you. Point 4. All right, here comes thought number 4, and oh boy, it's a sweet one. When a man realizes he's found the one, it's like his brain activates a brand new mission in life. And that mission? To make you the happiest woman on the planet. Seriously, it's as if he's taken an unbreakable oath with himself: whatever it takes, whenever it takes, I'm going to make sure she smiles. Suddenly, your happiness becomes his ultimate life goal. Forget video games, work deadlines, or guys' nights out, you're his number one priority. He's not just looking for ways to impress you here and there. Nope, he's fully invested in doing everything and anything to ensure you're glowing with joy. Whether it's handling the big stuff, like supporting your career dreams, or the little things, like picking up your favorite snacks because he noticed you were having a bad day, he's all in. Need someone to lean on when life feels overwhelming? He's already by your side, listening, hugging, and reminding you how strong you are. Maybe you're sick and feeling like a pile of misery. Guess what? He suddenly channels his inner Florence Nightingale, bringing you soup, fluffing your pillows, and even watching those questionable rom-coms you love just to make you feel better. Oh, and if you're stressed about work or dealing with drama, he transforms into your calming presence, ready with advice or just an open ear to listen. And it's not just these reactive moments, he's also proactive. He's thinking ahead, planning surprises, and finding small ways to show you how much he cares. Perhaps he remembers that one random conversation you had about trying out that new Thai place. And next thing you know, he's made dinner reservations just because, or maybe he pays attention to how your face lights up when you hear your favorite song. So now it's on every playlist he curates. That's him saying, your happiness means everything to me, even the little details. But here's what's really incredible. It's not that he has to do these things, it's that he wants to. For him, nothing feels better than seeing you happy because, in his mind, your happiness is a reflection of how deeply he cares. If you're smiling, laughing, or glowing with joy, his heart does a little victory dance. And if you're sad or upset, oh, trust me, he's brainstorming every possible way to fix it, even if it's something as simple as buying you chocolate or sending you memes to make you laugh. And don't for a second think he's doing any of this to score points or get something in return. When a man meets the one, making her happy becomes the reward itself. It's his way of showing you, hey, I see how amazing you are, and I'm not going to take this relationship for granted. Bottom line? If your guy is going above and beyond to brighten your world, whether it's through grand gestures or sweet little acts of kindness, that's his way of saying, you're my everything, and I'll never stop trying to make you happy. Yep, he's all in, and honestly. Isn't that just the most heartwarming thought? Point 5, all right, we've made it to point number 5, and trust me, this one is straight out of a rom-com. When a man meets the one, there's this overwhelming, almost magical thought that pops into his head every time he looks at her. I've never seen anyone so beautiful. And before you roll your eyes and say, yeah, right, hold on, because he's not just talking about the way you look, though he absolutely thinks you're stunning. Nope, this goes way deeper than that. When a man truly falls for you like head over heels, no going back, falls for you, it's like he's enchanted. Every little thing about you becomes beautiful to him, your laughter, the way you wrinkle your nose when you're concentrating, even the way you rant about your day. To him, it's all incredible. Your beauty isn't just about your outward appearance, though he'll tell you 1,000 times how gorgeous you are, it's also about the person you are inside. That beauty that shines through when you're kind to a stranger, when you cheer him up after a bad day, or when you're just unapologetically yourself. And here's the kicker, every time you smile at him, it's like he's hit with a tidal wave of emotions. He'll swear it's the kind of smile you'd only see on an angel, and his first thought is, how did I get so lucky? He might look cool and composed on the outside, but inside he's absolutely melting. That smile of yours becomes his happy place, his ultimate reason to push through tough days. The funny thing is, when he tells you you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, your response will probably be something like, oh, stop it, you're being silly. But here's the truth, he genuinely means it. And he'll keep saying it over and over because for him, it's undeniable. You could be dressed to the nines or in sweatpants with messy hair and no makeup, and he'll still see you as the most beautiful person in the room. You can't convince him, otherwise he's already made up his mind. You know what else? This thought doesn't fade with time. Even after years together, he'll still have that same awestruck feeling when he looks at you. Whether it's a quiet moment on a random Tuesday or a big night out, there's something about you that just captivates him. And you might catch him staring at you, totally mesmerized, only for him to blush and say something goofy like, sorry, I just can't believe how lucky I am, and don't think he only notices this beauty in the big, flashy moments. Oh no, he sees it in the small, everyday details too, in the way you tuck your hair behind your ear, the way you laugh at your favorite TV show, or the way you light up when you're talking about something you're passionate about. To him, you're a masterpiece, and he'll never stop admiring you. Bottom line, when a man meets the one, her beauty overwhelms him in every way, inside, outside, and everything in between. He'll never stop looking at you like you're the most breathtaking sight he's ever seen. And honestly, who doesn't want to be admired like that? Point 6, all right, brace yourself for point number 6, because it's a game changer. When a man meets the one, something wild happens. Out of nowhere, he starts wanting things he swore he'd never even think about. You know, big things. Like commitment, family, or even gasp, marriage. It's like his inner bachelor gets a little nudge from Cupid. Suddenly his whole perspective shifts and he's standing there completely baffled, thinking, wait, am I turning into Noah from The Notebook? Here's the thing, so many guys grow up imagining freedom and independence as their top priorities. For many, the idea of settling down used to sound like the plotline of a horror movie. But then you walk into his life and bam, everything changes. Suddenly he's daydreaming about cozy Sunday mornings with you, building a home together, and wait for it, raising a family. Yep, the same guy who used to avoid wedding talk like it was the plague is now browsing Pinterest boards for backyard wedding ideas. Okay, maybe not Pinterest, but you get the idea. At first, he might even freak out a little. He's like, hold up, what's happening to me? Do I have a fever? Do I need to lie down because this whole wanting a family and planning for the future idea doesn't come with a warning label? 1 minute, he's chilling with his friends, and the next he's thinking about how much you'd love a cute little house with a wraparound porch. Spoiler alert, it's not a fever. It's love. And when a man starts imagining this future with you, it's not because someone forced him into it. It's because being with you has opened his eyes to what life could be like. He starts picturing the silly things, like fighting over paint colors for your dream home, and the meaningful moments, like holding hands while watching your kids play in the backyard. It's like a light bulb switches on, and suddenly he's all about that forever life. But here's the beautiful part: this shift isn't just about checking off boxes like marriage or kids. It's about you. It's about realizing he's found someone so special that he wants to build an entire world around her. You've inspired him to think bigger, dream bolder, and lean into a future that's not just about him. It's about both of you. Now, don't be surprised if he hints at this a little awkwardly. Maybe he'll casually mention a trip to Home Depot for future DIY projects. Or bring up baby names just for fun, or maybe he'll go all in, confidently declaring that he wants to give you the world. Either way, these thoughts might take him by surprise, but he's learning something important. He wants these things because he sees forever with you. Bottom line, when a man meets the one, he starts wanting things he never knew he wanted. He discovers that life isn't about avoiding commitment or running from responsibility. Instead, it's about finding someone who makes him feel excited to share it all. And trust me, by the time he's building metaphorical or literal dream houses in his mind, he's already imagining a life where your happiness takes center stage. How's that for a plot twist? Point 7, and here we are, folks, lucky number 7. This thought is equal parts adorable and mind-blowing. When a man meets the one, there's this constant, almost comical thought swirling through his head like a catchy song he can't stop singing. It goes something like this: I have no idea how this happened, but I'm so glad it did. Seriously. He's like a confused but thrilled lottery winner who just hit the jackpot without even buying a ticket. You know those moments when you catch him staring at you with a goofy, lopsided grin on his face? Yeah, that's him lost in thought, marveling at how in the world he got so lucky to have you. He's probably running through a mental montage of everything that led him to this moment. Maybe it was a random swipe on a dating app, a mutual friend's party, or just fate working its weird, magical magic. Whatever it was, he can't stop replaying it in his head, thinking, how did I pull this off? Now, here's the hilarious part. He doesn't believe he did anything extraordinary. Like, sure, he probably thinks he's a decent guy, but deep down, he's convinced that the universe must have been in a really good mood the day you cross paths. He might even joke about it, saying stuff like, "Are you sure you're not an angel in disguise? But don't be fooled, he's only half joking." He's genuinely in awe of the fact that someone as incredible as you decided he was the guy. What's even sweeter is that this feeling doesn't go away. It's not just a first date kind of thought or an early relationship glow thing. Nope. This thought hangs around for the long haul. Years down the line, he'll still be lying in bed next to you, thinking, man, how did I get so lucky? And the smile will creep back onto his face every single time. Whenever life gets chaotic or things seem tough, this thought becomes his anchor. It's what keeps him grateful, grounded, and motivated to be the best partner he can be. Even in the middle of the mundane, like folding laundry, grocery shopping, or binge watching a new show together, he'll find himself randomly thinking, I wouldn't trade this for anything. I can't believe I get to do life with her. And don't be surprised if you catch him blurting out some version of this thought at the most unexpected moments. You could be mid-conversation about what to order for dinner, and he'll suddenly say, I'm really glad we met. Or maybe he'll send you a random text, like, do you realize how amazing you are? Because I think you're amazing. The best part, this isn't about him thinking he doesn't deserve you, no pity parties here. It's more about him being so thankful, so deeply appreciative, that he can't contain it. He's not just glad that you're in his life, he's ecstatic, over the moon, and borderline giddy about it. You've become his favorite plot twist, the one thing he'll never stop being grateful for. Bottom line, when a man meets the one, he spends a lot of time feeling like the luckiest guy on the planet. He doesn't always know how it happened, but he knows one thing for sure: he's so glad it did. And honestly, isn't that just the most heart-melting thought?